Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each week to bring you tasteful content,
but viewer discretion is advised.
Now enjoy the show.
We begin this week in Georgetown for the annual Camp Barnes Benefit Stock Car Race.
We'll hit the waters of Assawoman Bay with Eric Fiore of Bayside Jet Drive.
Scorchy Talls takes us out for some RC boat racing in Somerset County.
And we'll go full scale and full throttle in Cambridge at the Powerboat Regatta.
The Outdoors Delmarva Need for Speed Special starts right now.
Welcome to Outdoors Delmarva, the show that celebrates our communities, our cultures and traditions, and the places we call home. My name is Jason Lee.
And I'm Lauren Hitch.
Lauren, you know they're out there, right?
Who?
Those people.
Those people?
Yeah, the ones that are going to have some seriously hurt feelings come November.
Yeah, those people. The ones who turned their heat on the other morning when it was 46 degrees out?
Yep, those are the ones.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here are Jason Lee and Lauren Hitch.
With summer flying by so quickly, we thought we'd rev the engine here on the show with the Outdoors Delmarva Need for Speed Special.
And we're going to start at the Georgetown Speedway with the annual Camp Barnes Benefit Stock Car Race. We're here for your biggest fundraiser of the year. Let's talk about this a little bit. Camp Barnes Race.
Yep, biggest fundraiser. We have 3 during the year, but we really rely on this one as our largest.
And it's in Georgetown Speedway. There's plenty of crowd here tonight already. The gates just opened up and there's plenty of people here. A lot of people supporting.
Everyone supports the race. We get drivers from the Mid-Atlantic all over and our local drivers. And hopefully when the sun goes down, more people will come out and enjoy the race tonight. You're going to see a combination of some major classes with our super late models and modifieds, and then some support classes. But this year is our first year we've done the juice box race.
I'm excited for that one.
I am too. I've never seen this, but we will see what happens. And that's 3, 4, and 5-year-olds on 24-volt radio flyers, and I'm not sure what's going to happen.
I'm tempted to get behind the wheel of my. I think that's the only thing I could actually drive out here. Talk about DSP's involvement.
So our involvement is that this was originally started by Colonel Barnes. I guess it's going to be 76 years ago with Colonel Barnes. It was originally funded by the governor himself, and he had a close working relationship with him. And the whole idea was to find at-risk youth and give them an opportunity to explore the outdoors and be outdoors. All the fun amenities of a swimming pool and campfires and canoeing. And it's really become an integral part of the state police, because this is our mission, is to go out there and to embrace our community and look and focus on the next generation and elevate them up to great success.
These fundraisers and the support allow the child and their family no charge to the camp.
No charge, and that's got to be an awesome thing for parents that they want to send their kids to camps, but maybe can't afford it. Camp Barnes is free. 6 weeks out of the summer, sign your kid up. 10 to 13-year-olds, boys and girls, they go different weeks. So it's really cool. It's teaching them, it's instilling a lot. The day we went there, we learned a lot. There was cabin inspections. This is the real deal at this camp.
It is, and they enjoy it. And it's nice to see the 10-year-olds come very excited. And when they're 13, knowing it's their last year, there's tears as they leave.
Aww.
But that means a lot to us, that it was worth it.
Yeah, and when we talked to a lot of the campers, they said they wanted to come back as counselors.
They do.
So they want to give back.
They do.
Which is what everyone out here is doing tonight at this camp.
Absolutely, and it's so supportive. About 165 sponsors for this race, so it's a tremendous support from the community.
Great, well, let's get to racing. What do you say? Let's go enjoy it in the stand.
Let's go do it.
We had so much fun at the racetrack. We got to talk to so many people, including driver Ross Robinson, but we couldn't fit it all into this show. So be sure to go to outdoorsdelmarva.com and check out the online exclusive.
We hit the water with Bayside Jet Drive when the Outdoors Delmarva Need for Speed Special returns.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
There's something so special about hopping on a jet ski and hitting the water. But I wouldn't know because this one went without me.
Wow, you are really hanging on to that, just like I was hanging on to the handles of that Yamaha FX Cruiser I was on.
I really do hate you sometimes.
Tell us what we're on today.
So today we are on both Yamaha watercraft. You know, of course, I know that you have more experience than me, so I put you on the supercharged one. And I'm on the small fun machines that kind of remind me of back in the day. They're a little smaller, similar we were used to in the 90s and 2000s.
Now, for someone who's never ridden one of these, what's the first thing that you would tell them?
The first thing is that, and the major rule in Maryland, it's on the state law books, is to stay 100 feet away from everything when you're over 6 knots.
Eric explained to me that the biggest reason for the distance and speed is because not only does it give the rider an extra measure of safety, but it's also a state law.
If you're new, is there a course that you should be taking?
So at Bayside, we offer a land demo for everyone that buys a new machine. If it's a boat, we go on the water. If it's a watercraft, we do it all on land. But we explain the operations to you, the do's, the don'ts, the what happens if this goes on and what happens if that goes on. You know, everybody that's basically born before the early 70s does not need a course, but we strongly encourage it. State law requires everyone from early 70s on to have a state motor certificate, which works for other states besides Maryland. And the key ingredients to those, in my opinion, is knowing your markers here in the coastal bays, because we have a lot of shallow areas, and knowing those that red, right, returning, red, green marks of what they need is just really crucial to being safe on the water.
And I would imagine that going out with somebody who is experienced on one of these things is probably one of the best things to do.
That is the best way, and that's ideal. If you have a friend or family member that's well versed in boating in a certain area, I would strongly encourage you to go out with them and kind of learn the rules on the road and also boating etiquette.
And you've got 2 locations.
We do. We have one in Ocean Butte, Delaware, and we also have one in Berlin, Maryland as well.
How can people find out more about Bayside?
You can visit us at BaysideJetDrive.com. You can visit us on all our socials. You can also visit the dealership. We have showrooms at both locations. One is at 10595 Worcester Highway in Berlin. The other one's at 30387 Cedar Neck Road in Ocean Butte, Delaware.
All right, well, let's open them up and let's go have some fun.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Now, that was my first time on a jet ski, and I know that it won't be my last. And if you're looking to have some uniquely personal fun out on the water, you need to speak to Eric at Bayside Jet Drive.
Now, before the speed and size of the boat go up, we're going to get really small when Outdoors Delmarva returns.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
In the world of physics, speed is relative.
Which is why even small boats are getting big love from us this week.
Honoring the life and legacy of Scorchy Taws, thanks to Shorts Marine in Long Neck, Delaware. Shorts Marine, everything but the water.
It was a beautiful day for powerboat racing. Spectators arrived early. They came by car, on foot, by sailboat, and in fancy cabin cruisers. Every Saturday, you see, is powerboat racing day in Hopewell, just 4 miles north of Crisfield. And the drivers, like Eugene Travers of Cambridge, are deeply addicted.
On Friday night, I can't hardly sleep. I have to wait. Just can't wait to get down here to Crisfield on Saturday morning.
By now the cat is out of the bag. Our drivers are not members of the American Powerboat Association. They're just the good old boys of the Chum Plant Radio Control Boat Club of Crisfield, and they take their racing seriously.
Every Saturday, I've never missed a Saturday.
We really enjoy it. There's about 15 of us in the club.
The 2 hours or so that precede the big race is a busy, busy time. The boats must be fine-tuned and tested, and pit crews labor with the intensity of brain surgeons. The boat must obey every command. Finally, all boats are ready and the drivers are at the controls. It is the magic moment. Through the eyes of the driver, racing can be very unnerving. The boats reach speeds of 50 to 60 miles an hour, and control of your boat is the key.
Yeah, and sometimes no control at all.
Anything you can imagine that might happen is happened.
At race end,
All right, here's the winner, Class B Hydro, Eugene Travers, came smiling.
he got no silver cup, no fat check. Like all members of the Chum Plant Club, he had two things to do: pretty up his boat and wait for next week. Scorchy Taws wandering our Delmarvelous land for WBOC News.
Remembering Scorchy Taws is sponsored by Shorts Marine. Online at shortsmarine.com.
Did you know that radio-controlled aircraft drones were used by the British during World War I to help target enemy aircraft?
Did you know that in 2003, Silver Spring, Maryland resident Maynard Hill flew an RC plane from Canada to Ireland? That trip took nearly 39 hours and covered more than 1,800 miles, setting new world records.
And did you know that an RC jet known as the L-39C XXL Superjet, which was developed in the Czech Republic, has a price tag of $70,000?
Now you do.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Speed on the land and speed in the air are all fine and good.
But if you want something that'll really tug on your anchor, you gotta check out the Cambridge Classic Powerboat Regatta.
I've never been out here before, so this is very exciting for me. Tell me a little bit about the history of the powerboat races.
Well, the history is long and deep. This is the 113th year we've run these things. They started back in 1911. Two young men were out playing with their father's boats. Mr. Alfred DuPont was sitting out here anchored, watched them and said, have you guys ever thought about racing those boats? And that began it. The sport has grown. Whenever you put two men together, they're going to try whatever they have. Bicycles, horses, cars, doesn't make any difference. And for us, boats just is a natural. And so over the years, boat racing has been big here. I remember as a kid, there were as many as 15 boats racing out of Cambridge alone. And there were races all up and down the peninsula. We've had some of the sport's top builders of engines and boats, as well as drivers, come out of this area.
The Cambridge Classic Powerboat Regatta is more than just a collection of those top builders and drivers. It's also an event that brings families together. And I'm not just referring to those families watching from the shoreline. Jimmy Stewart of Jessel Powerboat Racing explained that the family tree roots run deep in the world of powerboat racing.
It's a whole family affair for us. My sister Peg and I ride in one boat. Peg's two kids, Sam and Max Awancio, drive the JS45 in the red. My oldest daughter Courtney Truelove and her husband Dallas drive the JS721 going skipping crazy. And my youngest daughter Abigail Langford drives with her husband Brendan Langford riding and the JS41 the Crabster. So we're all here. We're all originally here from the Eastern Shore. So it's great to be here. Cambridge is a great place to come. I remember coming here as a kid and always a great event. My club hosts a race here in July 20 and 21 of this year as well. Love coming here. It's great. The support with the people in the area. The Chamber of Commerce does a ton here. They had a great concert here last night. A bunch of people there, had a great time. So just a lot of fun.
Jimmy's sister, Peg Awancio, shared her enthusiasm for not just powerboat racing, but why the Cambridge Classic is so special.
There's nothing like seeing it in person. It's here, especially in Cambridge, the front straightaway with the starting line is really close to the shoreline. I don't think that there's another race site that we go to in the United States or Canada, we race in both countries, where you've got a better view of all the boats coming across the start-finish line at the start of the race and heading into the first turn, which is where it all happens. You never want to look away for the first turn because that's when every boat in the heat is side by side, and if something's going to happen, that's where it is. My children grew up in it. Jimmy's children grew up in it. We grew up in it. We were toddlers when our dad was involved, and my son was in diapers when we started racing as adults. So, but it's a dream come true for our family. Something that when we were little kids running around the races, we never thought in a million years that we'd be the ones on the race course.
With so many descending upon Jerry Boyle Park from all up and down the eastern seaboard, Alan told me that he hopes that more and more locals will come out to enjoy the weekend, ensuring that the Cambridge Classic Powerboat Regatta will be around for years to come.
My hope is that we can have folks that have never been to a race before to come out and give it a try. I mean, just take a look.
The Cambridge Classic Powerboat Regatta returns to the Chop Tank the weekend of May 17th and 18th next year.
Get more info at cpbra.com. We'll check out your latest photos when Outdoors Delmarva returns.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here are Jason Lee and Lauren Hitch.
It's time to flip through the photo album and take a look at your latest pictures.
Thanks to our friends at North Bay Marina.
Neil Wadsworth of Berlin went fishing with his nephew Matt Mueller and made sure there was photographic proof that they know what they're doing.
Tammy Massey of Seaford sent in this amazing shot of storm clouds over the Sharptown Carnival, and this one of her dog Benny rocking sunglasses next to sunflowers.
John Derrickson sent us a few photos. This one of a Harrington sunset, a great blue heron seen at Silver Lake in Dover, and this one of his son Logan making friends with a blue crab at Bowers Beach.
Julia Morris of Bridgeville told us that Earl is the best good boy, and now we see why.
Joey Melvin snapped these bucks out in a field in Georgetown last month.
Sean Berginti captured this lightning strike in Little Creek.
Milton Catlin shared with us this gorgeous sunrise photo at the Sharptown Bridge.
While Marsha Brewington of Eden had a fantastic panoramic sunset photo.
And we couldn't really have an episode dedicated to all things fast if we didn't include these incredible shots taken by Cody Croswell from the OC Air Show.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by North Bay Marina.
Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Be sure to keep sending in those wonderful viewer photos by going to outdoorsdelmarva.com and clicking the banner at the top of the page, or scan the QR code in the bottom corner of your screen.
We hope to see you right back here again next week, but until then, my name is Jason Lee.
And I'm Lauren Hitch, and we hope to see you
Outdoors Delmarva.
Outdoors Delmarva, a Draper Media production, is presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine, Bell Creek Equipment, and Range Time.